Is it better, or was it better for you when someone would share that they had a common experience, or was it better when they just listened?
I think there's a place for both of those. I guess if you're going to share about your own experience with your friend, make it short. make it mostly about them, but help them feel like they're not alone in this experience. This reminds me of another sort of antidote to heartbreak, which is the idea of ritual. We don't really in our culture have rituals for heartbreak. We have so many rituals for marriage and not necessarily for the end of it. And one of the places I traveled for the book was Croatia, because there is a museum of broken relationships.
Oh, wow.
And I loved this experience. People from all over the world have sent in objects representing their broken relationship. And some of them are very funny. And then they'll write one paragraph about sort of how this object describes their broken relationship. And it's really a beautiful experience because you see, right, how universal this is, that this is a shared human experience. But you also see how just the act of sending in an object, writing a paragraph, and then seeing it under glass, in this beautifully lit display kind of helps encapsulate the whole process. Provides a little bit of detachment, right? That you're able to now tell a story about it. And I think that idea of being able to write about this, in a paragraph, it's almost like how I felt when I wrote the last page of my book. There's a little bit of closure. You're never going to get full closure from a big heartbreak. As you said in your introduction, it kind of becomes a part of us. But I think it's very important to be able to have a little bit of that distancing. And sometimes that can come from just the active narrative.
I've seen two other things that people do that can be really effective. A while ago, I climbed to the top of Mount Shasta, which is a challenging climb. You've got to spend the night halfway up the mountain. You go at 3 a.m. with crampons and an ice axe, and it's real mountain climbing. It's not Himalayas, but it's substantial. And you get to the very, very top, and there's this metal box that's affixed to the rock, and it's got a heavy lid, and you can open it, and you realize how incredibly difficult it was for anyone to carry something that heavy up there, because there's a lot of climbing. Every ounce matters. And in there, you'll see notes or photos from broken relationships where people are letting go. But the thing that gave me just kind of goosebumps, not just because it was cold, was someone had worn a railroad spike on a necklace. Okay, that weighs a couple pounds. And clearly worn it for a long time. Like they were carrying a burden from a relationship, and they decided to leave it there in a sacred spot.